as anybody who's a manufacturer watching this recognizes only too well, the key to future success in your business is investment. Investment in people, in technology, in product, in design, and everything else. And often, very often, the source of the investment, the financial investment, comes from people like my next guest, Richard Hill, who heads up the Automotive and Manufacturing sector at NatWest RBS. Richard, welcome to the Manufacturer Studio.
Pleased to be here.
I'm keen to know how you can make decisions on investment in an age when technology and business cycles are changing at an ever faster rate. That must pose a challenge to you.
A very significant challenge, Nick, and when I came into this role 3-4 years ago, come from industry, I recognise just how much change is taking place in the manufacturing environment. And that's quite scary, really, and I understand from a leadership point of view just how challenging that might be. It's fine for large organisations that have all these sort of specialist areas, strategy and so forth, but for the kind of engine room of the UK manufacturing industry, which I see as sort of 5 million to 80 million turnover, it's really challenging because they don't have that kind of centralised function to do it. It's all down to the core leadership, top senior leadership team. And they're faced every day with this dilemma of sort of grip and vision. They've got to run the business, take all the challenges on, and they get sucked into that. So how can they create space to do that sort of future fit thinking that is so vital to do that?
Well, that indeed is the name of the report that you've brought out called Future Fit, Trailblazing in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Well, you obviously want to be trailblazing when it comes to advice and investment.
Indeed.
But it's the leadership has to be there to justify your investment. That means you've got to have an even closer eye than has been traditional on the way leaders are leading and the vision they bring to their business.
Spot on. We're investing, and have been for some time now, a lot of time in making sure that our relationship managers from across the organisation and down into sort of credit functions that make the decisions that come in really have a good understanding of the manufacturing environment. And it's vast, isn't it? I mean, there are over 240 subsectors. We've got all these kind of disruptive dynamics going on. So there's only so much we can do to do that. We've got to start somewhere. And we have these regular programs of both formal training, monthly insight programs, and weekly updates going to my area tells our people and our business what's going on. That's so we can go out and have pretty reasonable strategic dialogue with our clients. And from that we can draw an understanding of where we can help more. And clearly there's a lot more that we can do to help those businesses transition from where they are today. And many of them are fantastic businesses, but with all that kind of disruption, if they're asking for 5, 10, 15-year money, we need to understand that they've got the capability, at a particular leadership level, to take their businesses on into that environment. And it's collaboration, collaboration from a broad area. It's not kind of whether can you do it or not, and we'll make a decision. It's about actually how can we help. And we're buddying up with lots of organisations like the High Value Manufacturing Catapult to see how we can make introductions where help can be provided.
The challenge for you, as I said, must be much greater. It means you've got to get really under the skin, as you've just described.
Yeah.
But we do research every year in the annual manufacturing report, and we hear from some of the manufacturers that traditional banking doesn't always respond to what they want and what they need.
Yeah.
The thing is, I often wonder whether they actually know themselves what they need. What's your view on that? I mean, do you have the same grip and vision yourselves that you would expect of them?
I hope so. I wouldn't do the job that I'm doing today. It's my core role to make sure that we do. There's a lot of disruption going on in any industry, particularly banking actually. But we've got 50,000 manufacturing clients across the UK. They are really important to our organisation. Our organisation, NatWest, Lombard, RBS, got big growth aspirations ourselves. And you know what? Manufacturing as a sector is front and central to that. So, my challenge is to see how we can understand to do more for manufacturers, lend more, support them in more ways, because that's the way we're going to move forward as an organisation as well. And it's not that straightforward. We've got to sort of then educate our people to go and look for this and understand all these key issues and work out not just what we do today, but we as an organisation might need to change and do things differently, provide new products, and we're bringing them in. We kind of look closely, we bring lots of new products and propositions now, but we've got to keep that going because we've got to keep pace with one heck of an environment, that's in manufacturing.
You came out of industry yourself, you're now in banking. Yeah. Where would you prefer to be? Would you prefer to be in the boardroom talking to NatWest or NatWest talking to the boardroom?
Well, as long as I can add value in terms of making sure a key stakeholder like NatWest is support to make sure that NatWest is supporting manufacturing, I think I'm on the right side at the moment. And as long as I can keep adding value to make sure that happens, my heart and soul is in and around manufacturing. That's where I come from. So my father had an engineering business. And it's in the blood, isn't it? And you can't shake it. So I think NatWest is doing a great job. I think it's going to do an even better job going forward if we can get all these kind of plans and strategies in place we've got going. I think that they're happening, and that's really key for us. As long as I'm making that happen, I'm on the right side of the fence at the moment.
And we have to trust that British manufacturing is going to move forward despite the headwinds that we've got, political and all the other stuff. The fact is, UK manufacturing, you've said it before, very highly ranked in the world. There's no reason why we couldn't do better if we just get the grip and vision right.
Totally agree. From my perspective, manufacturing is front and central. It's absolutely core to generating wealth in the UK. It's where it all starts. So however you look at it, it's really important. I'm not going into politics, but that is the front and central to making sure that the UK is a really healthy economy at the end of the day. The grip and vision bit is probably singularly the most important aspect that we need to sort out. All the technological stuff, this great exhibition today, but it comes down to the end of the day, it's going to land on leaders' desks to make a transition from actually getting away from that grip, which is a really hard thing to do, and focus more on developing the kind of business models that are going to make sure that their business and the manufacturing sector overall is really efficient and on a global scale right up there. We're number 8, 9 at the moment. We need to be top of the pack going forward.
Thank you. Richard Hill, great pleasure to see you.
Super, thanks for your time.
Richard Hill from NatWest and RBS, many thanks.
Great, cheers.